Well, good day, everybody. Today, what we're going to be doing is covering some basics of Google Drive, how it looks, what it looks like, difference between online and the folder on your computer, how to share files from both online and your computer, and answer some of the basic questions that we've had before. So, to go ahead and get started, this is what Drive will look like on Chrome. You have some basic functions here. You have the new button that will give you folders. It'll show you your extensions that you have. So you've got docs, sheets, slides, and there's some other extensions that I've added. But these are your basic ones you're going to get when you first get to Drive. You have this is the new Drive. You may actually have the old Drive, which I will show you what that looks like very quickly. So this is what the old Drive looks like. If you still have this, then all you have to do is take Meter New Drive, and it will take you to what the drive has become now. And that should be pretty simple. Other basic functions that you have here, you have shared with me is any folder or file that has been shared with you will be here. So if you have somebody share a file with you, this is where it will show up. And then you can have it, any file that you have here and shared with me, all you have to do is right click on it and you can say add to my drive and it will add to your drive. So let's say this photo has not been added to my drive yet, so there is the way to add it to my drive. Or anything else you want to do with it. If you've got a shared file that you don't want to keep, you can get rid of it by hitting remove. Or if it's something like maybe you wanted to download it to your machine and get it off a drive, you can download it here. You can make a copy. This is where you would manage different versions of it. So if you had a spreadsheet or something that you had created and you thought you had data that you had lost, you can go in there and manage the versions of it. You can rename it, and you can also share it from this location also. So those are some of the basic functions of the drive. Now I will show you some actual functions that we're going to do. So let's say we have a listing. I'm going to actually remove this and then re-add it. So we can show the add. Here is how you add something. So let's say you have a listing that you need to create some folders for. So you hit new and you hit folder and it gives you this thing. So we're going to call this one Pike 50, which is a good name to use. Now, when that's done, you open that one up and you can see that there's nothing in there. Now you can create different folders for your documents, and then you can create another folder for your pictures. Now, once you have created those two folders, you want to be able to add stuff to those folders. So let me back that out a little bit. So you have your folder here. So you open up that folder and let's say you have documents and you want to add documents to that folder. So you see where it says drop files here. So all you have to do is you move that out of the way, and let's say this is the folder, the file that you want to add. You grab it and you hover over, and that's what you get. You get incoming. All you have to do is drag it and you drop it in there, and it's going to upload rather quickly because that's a very small folder or file. Once that file is there, you're going to see that it has been created there. And then you can go into another folder, and let's say you have some pictures that you want to do. So we open up these and we move those over there and get them out of the way. So you go back and now you have documents. So there's your document and you have pictures, and you can see that the picture one is completely empty. So you can grab some photos if you have any photos, and you can drag them in there. Let's say you had a screenshot that you wanted to do. So you grab that screenshot and you drop it in there. All right, so it's going to load that in there. Now that you've added your files, it's not going to be that quick because you're going to probably have a lot more pictures and a lot more documents. But the basic idea is there. Now you've got your primary folder that has your documents and your pictures in it. We're going to go back and we're going to right click on that and we're going to share it. So I'm going to share it with myself on my other drive. And I'm going to leave it in Can Edit because I want to be able to edit it when it gets there. If you don't want somebody to be able to get rid of it or edit it, you go ahead and you leave it in Can View. And okay, let me get back to where I was. So I'm going to share this with my other drive account. So I hit send. All right. It says that you're sharing outside of your domain, and that's what you're going to get unless you're sharing it with somebody within the Whitetail Properties domain. So here is my Whitetail Properties, and I go over to this drive, and I open up my drive there, and I go shared with me. Well, there is the folder that I've shared. It's this Pike 50. So I open up that folder, and I go to the docs, and there's that one document that I had in there, and I go to pics, and there's the one picture that I had in there. So that is the real basic of how to share a file from one drive to another drive, to share it with somebody else. And see, I haven't added that folder to my drive yet. So I go back to here and I open up that folder and I tell it, I say, add it to my drive. And I just move it. So now when I go back to my drive, there's the folder. It's been shared from drive to drive. So that is the basics of sharing a file and receiving a shared file onto somebody else's drive from being online in Chrome. All right. Now, when you're looking at that, we have this folder here that's been shared. Now, when you're looking at drive on the computer, here's the drive on the computer. So what we do is we open up that drive and we can go down and we can see that there is my folder that I've shared. All right. And this works pretty much exactly the same way. If you want to share that folder from the drive that you have downloaded to your computer, you open it up and you go down to where it says Google Drive and you hit share. When you share it, you get the same dialog box here. And you can do the same thing. You type in what you want to share it with. You can pick Can View, Can Edit from here. So it looks pretty much exactly the same. All right. Now I will show you what it looks like on a Windows machine. And here is what Drive looks like on a Windows machine. As you can see, here is my Whitetail Properties drive. And if I want to open up my other drive, I can actually add an account and I just start typing unless I've already got it here. And I type in the other drive that I have, enter my password, I sign in, and you can see there is pretty much the same look that I had in the other drive, because Chrome is pretty much Chrome no matter where you're at. So that's at least one good thing, that you don't have to worry about something looking completely different in whether you're on a PC or whether you're on a Mac. So if you've already gotten used to how it looks here, it's going to look the same no matter what you're doing with it. The only difference between a Mac and a PC is where and how the drive slightly looks different here, because now you see that it's down here, but when you open it up, the controls look pretty much the same. So Now, what we are looking at is, let's say you are trying to do something and Drive is trying to sync and you need your bandwidth back. Well, what you can do is you can actually turn the drive off. And all you have to do is these little dots here, and you go to quit drive. And as soon as you quit it, it'll go away, and you see that it's not there anymore and it's not syncing or it's not doing anything. But you now you've got time and nobody else is on the internet and you want to go ahead and turn it back on. All you have to do is go back to your programs, you find your drive. All right, there's drive. You open it up. Now, if you want to add it down to your taskbar down there, you can pin it to your taskbar right here. And when you pin it, now it's down there. You don't have to go and find it anymore. You just go into here and you click on it. And what it does is it goes back to whatever drive you were signed into, and it opens it back up and it starts syncing again. See, it's preparing, and now it says it's complete. So it's already completely synced up the drive, and it's got the same amount of storage and everything that you had before. So that's something you could do if you wanted to add it and make it to where it's down here, so that if you ever have to shut it off, you can easily find it again and turn it back on. All right, so we have looked at both how it looks like online, both on a Mac and a PC. We have looked at what Drive looks like on a Mac and a PC on the drive that's on your computer. All right, now that we have shown both Mac and PC on how to look at Drive online and in your folders, there is some other really basic things that we're going to cover, and it shouldn't take too long. Now, what we want to do is add some things. If you wanted to add some things to Chrome, and what I'm talking about is you look at here and you've got your docs and your sheets and your slides, which is basically the equivalent to Word, Excel, and PowerPoint. You have these apps that you can add. All you have to do is go to the apps here and you go to the web store. So think of it like you're adding apps to your phone, but what you're doing is you're adding these apps to Chrome. Okay, and Chrome is the browser. So any kind of apps you want to add, or anything you would can possibly think of that you might want to add to it, all you have to do is type in what you're looking for. So if you're looking for, there's an Office compatibility mode, you just type in Office and type in compatibility and you hit enter. Okay, and what it's going to do is it's going to find this is the Office compatibility mode for Drive. And you see how I've already got it added so I can rate it. But if you wanted to add it, you would click on this right here and go into Office compatibility mode. And what it'll do is, if you do not have the Office suite, you can still import Office documents, you can edit them, and you can export them as Office within Drive. So it does give you the ability to do that without having to have the Office suite. So if you don't want to purchase the Office suite, you would still have access to Office documents to be able to open them, edit them, and send them back out. So that's kind of an interesting and unique feature of Drive. So let's go back to Drive. All right, and anytime you're in Chrome, or if you need to do any kind of settings, you use your little gearbox here. And that's what I showed you earlier when I left the drive to go to the new drive, but it's also your settings. And this is also where you can, if you've turned on the Office compatibility, you uncheck this box, so it's not checked there, and then you will be able to do everything with the Office. And where you manage your apps, this is where you can turn them on or turn them off. So these are the apps that I have loaded, and this is where you can actually either turn them on or turn them off. So that's where you do it from, all right? And if you need to do any settings for the Chrome browser, that is this right here. That's these settings, and that's where you can turn on and off extensions, okay? And this is what the extensions are. So these are the things you have Drive, you have the different things within that are enabled. And something else to remember is with the Chrome browser, to make things faster, Chrome will run a separate process for each of your extensions that you have running. So if you're looking at a task manager kind of situation, you'll see Chrome running several different processes, because that way it can run all those things in the background. Even though you only have one file open, it may show several processes running, and that's kind of how it does it. It just makes it to where you can browse quicker because each of those extensions have their own process running. And that's kind of how Chrome does it. So what we've covered today is we have covered some basics of the drive, how to create folders, how to share folders, and how to get those shared with others, and also what it looks like when somebody has shared something with you. We will be doing future presentations on the drive, and what we'd like to do is maybe do some other stuff on docs and sheets and slides. If that is something that everybody would like, then we can do that. For now, I believe this is pretty much all I can cover on the drive and how it demonstration and how it works. And that's about it. So I will talk to you all later. Have a great day.